Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today, I'm gonna be giving you part 18 of What If Naruto Had the 6-Eye Sharingan. Remember to share this with your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, if you're new, I indeed have 4 of them guys, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a lot guys. Links will be down in the description. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, both Naruto and Sasuke were taken to the underground facility, where the envoys interrogate their prisoner. On the one hand, Ibiki could just interrogate them in a rather brutal manner. However, so far neither Uchihas had any Konoha ninja life, so they were not a major threat to the village. However, they refused to speak, while Naruto mostly, as he would not say anything until Tsunade arrived and he speak to her. Tsunade decided to comply to their demands and hear what he had to say. Maybe he would explain himself. However, upon entering inside, he was leading her on, saying that she was a good Hokage, and he also spoke about Danzo, things that did not make sense for the situation, and he never answered what he was up to. The problem was Mito had overheard villagers talking about Naruto and Sasuke returning. She rushed towards the office, but she was given orders not let her anywhere near the location, but Mito already knew where it was, as Shizune allowed her to make her way off. Maybe she could help in a bigger way. So with that, it did not take too long for her to make her way there. As something was happening though, Tsunade realized that Naruto was too cocky. He was acting so confident despite being safely locked away. There was no way that he could escape this location. He was stuck here, as she did not see a way for him to leave this place, so none of this made any sense. The Hyugas had thoroughly checked over him to make sure that he would not be abused abilities. The seal cuffs Sasuke as well. However, Ibiki saw something strange when Sasuke went up in chakra. No, that was hella confusing. He rushed to her, as Naruto informed Tsunade out of everyone in this world, no one understands chakra better than him, to the degree that he can fool the all-seeing eyes of Byakugan. As he stepped out, however, Ibiki activated the seals that bind him inside. That is when Mito arrived. However, Naruto unraveled it though and blew a hole right through the window, as he was about to step through, but she stopped him. She stepped in the room, as she talked to him so casually. Tsunade stopped the envoys from pursuing her. While that was going on, Sasuke made his way down, finding the route location. As he made his way down, the moment Naruto had stepped in the village, he had done a wide scan, finding where Danzo was located. Danzo knew that they were coming, so he was not wrong. Somehow they found out about what he did, what he made Itachi do, so they were coming for him. However, this was good, despite not wanting to, but they pushed his hand. Danzo was gonna kill them both. Well, after taking Naruto's eyes, him and Sasuke's, for extra insurance, as he had his root ninjas here. There was over 200 ninjas. There was no way they would be walking into this place alive, so Danzo did not allow any of his root ninjas to stop them, as they were gonna come right towards him. But Sasuke did not engage, though he waited on Naruto as he pulled out a scroll to reverse summon him to this location. As Naruto spoke to Mito, talking to her, he started to feel weird. Feelings that he rather repressed were coming back up, but Sasuke summoned him. Sasuke saw a look on his face and asked what it was. As he realized what happened, Mito shouted in rage as he was gone once again. They had to find him, they had to quickly. But Naruto knew that he had a job to do, so he steeled himself as he made his way down there. Both him and Sasuke walked in calmly as Naruto took off his glasses. Arriving towards said location, the 200 Anvus were all over the place. They were swarming the entire place. There was no way that they could wipe them all out, and Danzo was standing there confidently, believing that he already won, telling him the mistake that they made by coming down here. However, Naruto activated his domain expansion, but the problem was it took a huge draw on him. In a matter of seconds, all 200 Anvus were dead, as Naruto had killed them. However, he was left at a huge disadvantage. Sasuke jumped in though and stopped Danzo from attacking Naruto and putting him down. As Sasuke started to fight him, Danzo was taken aback to what just happened in his mind. Wasn't able to properly understand someone that possessed the ability to do something like that. It made no sense. He had over 200 root ninjas. But now they all were dead, and Danzo was beyond pissed. The battle between the two happened and Sasuke kept on killing him, but he kept on reviving himself using the Izanami. He came back time after time, as Sasuke was getting tired it seems. Sai then arrived on the scene as Danzo found this to be grateful in his opinion, as the real battle started now. However, Danzo found himself losing. He had to flee when Sai died, as his numbers of eyes were running out, so he tried to run away. However, he was brought back to the same location. He ran away again as he was brought back. It happened 10 times. Danzo was confused as he started to relive what happened over and over again. Danzo was confused by all of this until he saw Naruto looking down at him. He realized he was under a genjutsu, but how was that possible? He could not even use a Kodomasakami on them. Danzo was now affronted by this as he tried to fight back. But in the end, he lost his arm. The pain wasn't even there until they allowed him to feel it. Unknowing to him, in the last moments of his life, though he felt it, the both of them were using some sort of counteractive genjutsu against each other that affect him who was in the dead center. Danzo was, well, he was losing from the start. His mind thought that he was winning, but from the moment this match began, Danzo was already a dead man. He was nowhere in their league. He stood no chance, as he was being slaughtered once again. When he looked down toward his hand, there was no eye left open. The only eye that he possessed now was in his eye socket. That is when he felt blood rushing down his face, as the eye was punctured by one of Sasuke's shore needles, destroying it completely. The man was shocked as he came face to face with the two boys. Danzo couldn't even activate the seal on his chest as the both of them used their blades and beheaded him, tearing through the left and right side of his neck as his head dropped off. Naruto stumbled a bit after that, but Sasuke helped him up as it was time for them to go. Using his chakra, Naruto opened a portal in front of him, which him and Sasuke proceed to step into, finally getting the revenge that they seek for so long. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them which I post pretty fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. We begin this episode in Danzo underground lair. There was a large wolf dog with a patch over one of his eyes, sniffing around. He arrived towards a gigantic vault. As he started to bark out loud, it didn't take too long for Tatsumi, owner of said dog and head of the Inazaka clan, to arrive on the scene. She was followed by none other than Shikaku, and also Tsunade as well. The 3 of them were down here. The reason was Sai had arrived down here after the whole Naruto and Sasuke entering the village thing. However, what he came across was nothing but chaos. All of his root brother and sisters were dead. Every single one of them were slaughtered. Over 200 plus were eradicated. And Danzo was dead as well. It was because of Mito why Tsunade knew about this. Because she was the one that changed Sai. She invited him to hang out with them. The small gestures of friendship and kindness changed Sai for the better. He was once a boy that possessed no emotions, but now he had friends, something he never thought that he would ever had. However, upon seeing the seal from his tongue vanish, Sai knew that something was wrong. His first instinct was to protect Konoha. Given the fact that his master did some things in some dark ways, they were always supposed to protect Konoha. So he had no choice, and he believed the right thing to do was to tell the Hokage about this. Tsunade was shocked to find out just how many root agents Danzo still had under his control. Sai had been handed over to her by Danzo, but she thought that he just had a few members. Nothing this large, but yet over 200 plus. Sai had done the right thing coming to her. However, she was shocked that all of them were dead. To gain a better perspective on things, she brought Shikaku and Tatsumi. She brought Tatsumi to find out what exactly happened down here, the Inuzaka's trademark nose, and also to find out exactly where Naruto and Sasuke went. But they came to a dead end because the location that they sniffed, where Kuramaru, her dog, sniffed, that was the last sense where the perpetrators were, and then they just vanished. Shikaku instantly realized that the Anvus and the gate guards were dead right. Somehow they had the ability to teleport right out of the village like it was nothing. This brought up a rather great threat, to know that they can come in and out whenever they want. However, the scene down here was frightening. The bodies of the root ninjas, as Shikaku kneeled down and started to analyze one of them. The way they died, it was almost like they put up no resistance. Like they could not. As Tatsumi spoke up, maybe they placed them all under a genjutsu. Both of them were silent here that the Sharingan was a powerful tool, but to place 200 plus individuals under a genjutsu and to kill them all so quickly that they would not react. Speed like that has not been seen since the 4th Hokage and his Hiroshin. Could these boys have really gone that far? Kuramaru though had came across something. Tsunade arrived on the scene. What is it, she said? Their cells and DNAs. Shikaku said, as he took a closer look, they were marked. Cells of various ninjas and people that he didn't even know. There were names all over it. 4 of them is missing, said Tatsumi, as 4 vials were missing. Tsunade looked on with disgust, knowing that Danzo was up to some things down here that was supposed to be left in the dark. That is why he considered himself the leader of the darkness, the shadows that protect over the great tree. But the things that he was down here doing. However, they found his corpse. He was beheaded. Judging from the cut marks at his neck, it seems like 2 blades had sliced from left to right. His body was badly mutilated. One of his arms were gone completely, and one of his eye sockets were destroyed, the eye inside being eviscerated. The problem was that eye wasn't supposed to be there. Danzo had lost that eye back in the war. Tsunade was not sure what was going on here. She did notice flames. They came across a burned section. Naruto and Sasuke burned information. It seems like they deleted things out of here that they didn't want her to know about. However, this raised a big problem for the boys. They had not killed a Konoha ninja so far, but this. While the root agent program was a secret that was said to be cancelled a long time ago, the order was given by the 3rd Hokage himself, and Danzo was illegally doing this. Danzo Shinamura had a big name within the village. He fought alongside the 2nd Hokage and the 3rd Hokage in the wars. He was a man that gave his blood, sweat and tears for this village, losing body parts in the process. There were still many people here that respected him, and not to mention the 2 other elders. Tsunade would of course bring up this information in the meeting that they were going to have about the root ninjas, but The way things are looking right now, the two boys will be seen as wanted criminals for killing an elder of the Hidden Leaf Village. She frowned to herself. Tsunade knew better though. She remembered Naruto talking to her, saying that Danzo was a virus that was gonna infect this village until it could not rot anymore. Danzo was up to something, he did something to those boys. She was sure of that. But she had no way to prove it because they destroyed all the evidence. They didn't even want her to know about it. What were they up to? She had no idea. However, this will set off a chain reaction that would put them in a bad situation with Konoha. Damn it, she cursed herself as her mind ran towards none other than Mito. As a frown came on her face, as she was worried about the young girl. Moments later, on top of the Fortakage's head, Mito was gazing over the village, her blonde hair being swayed by the wind. She was not angry, nor was she upset with herself. If anything, she was more motivated to get the both of them back. Despite not seeing Sasuke, it's been 3 years since she's even seen any of them. And she could tell in that moment that they spoke, it was like the both of them were the only ones in the world. He spoke to her so naturally. She knew that he was up to something, but she just couldn't figure out what it was. But she could tell that he was still on their side. The way he talked, the way he acted, it was still the same Naruto, but something was wrong. She was reaching out and trying to get a hold of him, but he was pushing back. He was physically pushing back to keep her away from something. As she started to rethink everything that they've been through. Every single time that something might harm her, he always tried to find a way to stop it before it does so. He always tried to find a way to make sure that she's safe. He's always looking out for her, always making sure that she is okay. He was up to something that he didn't want her to know about. Something that was probably protecting her. That is what she believed anyway in her mind, because she saw it, the way he responded to her questions. He tried to shut himself off. That means he was probably suffering as well. She knew that the bond that they shared could not just be that easily broken. So she was more than ever determined to get him back. And he's not done anything that would warrant Konoha attacking him. He's not killed a Konoha shinobi. Him and Sasuke are still Konoha citizens, and they will get them back no matter what, she thought to herself. And she will be stronger next time. She was already working on a new jutsu, something that would amaze everyone that saw it, as she got off the monument and leaped off. When she was low to the ground though, chains came from her back and stopped her from hitting the ground. As she calmly lowered herself down. Just watch out, Naruto and Sasuke, she said. I'm gonna bring you both back no matter what. Meanwhile that was going on, Karen was currently in a lab. It was one of Orochimaru's labs. There was machines and beakers all over the place. However, on the table, as Karen stepped in front of said table, was none other than Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke was unconscious. There were several things running into his bloodstream. He was attached to several machines. Nothing was wrong with him. On the contrary, this was helping him. Tremendously so. Naruto had come to her. Upon helping Sasuke evolve, that is what he said. The cells that belonged to Hashirama Senju, he handed them over to her. Karen had been taught by Orochimaru as well, so she knew how to perform the procedure. But it would be dangerous. But once the procedure was performed, she doubted that it would work that easily. After all, the cells would need time to bond to Sasuke. A lot of time. But Naruto did something weird. Something that she was not sure how it was possible. He was able to speed up the time by simply resting his hand on Sasuke's chest and closing his eyes for a good 30 seconds. Throughout this, she activated her mind's eye technique as she felt it. Naruto chakra had invaded Sasuke's body. But this shouldn't be possible. Somehow he was able to control every single essence of his chakra and slowly pulled Hoshirama Senju's cells together before impregnating Sasuke's body, allowing Sasuke's own cells by wrapping his chakra around it to accelerate and bond with them. She never thought something like that was even possible, but yet he did it right in front of her eyes, shocking her. However, because of that, Sasuke would be unconscious for some time. Karen rests a gentle hand on Sasuke's chest. As he was still sleeping, a blush came on her face. She saw Naruto as someone that she wanted to make proud. Strangely enough, she saw him as some kind of older brother, which was kind of weird. However, it was just how it was. She wanted to make him proud, she wanted to do good things in his name. Just like how she respected Orochimaru, but this respect that she had for Naruto was beyond what she had for the Snake Sanin. There was just something special about him, something that she wanted to prove that she can live up to prove herself to him. That is why she was trying her hardest. She was left here to keep monitoring Sasuke, while she also had some company. The small child, Yukimaru, who she had grown so attached to, was here as well. Gurren stopped by when Naruto did not need her. They were doing something else. She also met Utakata as well, as he was quiet, but he was a very nice person. And he too was loyal and to the cause. So was Gurren. Naruto had chosen wisely, as all of them want to help him through the change of the elemental nation. And he and Sasuke were the only ones that could guide them. That is why they were his loyal followers. As she moved her hand from Sasuke's chest, realizing that it was lingering there for quite some time, the blush on her face not leaving one bit. His vitals were stable, there was nothing out of the ordinary. He should recover, but it would take some time. Rather than taking years for the cells to bond with Sasuke, it will take a few weeks perhaps. But he would wake up before that. But his body was getting stronger, Karen could feel it. His chakra capacity was enlarging. It was almost like his pathways were being forcefully opened. She had to keep a close eye out for him on this one. His pathways were stretching, and his chakra was increasing bit by bit. She did not see any end to it just yet. She wasn't sure how much chakra he would have after this was finished, but if she had to make a guess, it would be a lot more than Orochimaru ever possessed. Maybe a tail beast's worth. However, compared to a tail beast, it will be the weaker ones, perhaps the one tail. Or maybe something a bit beneath that, but still, for a human that was immense. But compared to Naruto, she still could not understand his chakra. She could feel it, she could sense it, but she could not understand it. It was like his chakra was all chakra combined, which literally made no sense. Well, she will just have to wait, it seems. Time skip. A few weeks later, in a bar off the coast of Wind Country, sat a man. He was in a far corner. He just wanted some time to himself to relax and think about his choices that he's made in life so far. Choices that led him up to this point in life. As he released a breath, the hood over his head, keeping his identity concealed, his hand resting on the table. He wasn't a big drinker, but after the revelations that came to him recently, he needed a drink, he needed to relax. He needed some time away from his idiotic partner as well. He just needed some time. This man was none other than one of the great wanted criminals of Konoha, Itachi Uchiha. The Akatsuki was currently on standby. There was a lot of problems. The one tail was missing. The 3 tails was missing. The 4 tails was missing. The 5 tails was still in the hidden stone. The 6 tails was missing. Recently, the 7 tails went missing. The 8 and 9 tails were still accounted for though. 2, 5, 8 and 9, they were all that were left. And the Akatsuki had none of them. The leader had put them on standby for the moment. The zombie brothers are out there working, collecting money for the organization to keep things flowing. Well, that was more so Kakuzu. The man was obsessed with money. Sometimes Itachi wondered what was his endgame. Did he want to just collect so much money that he could finally live in peace after everything, or did he want to continue to work until he was dead? But with the way things was going, it didn't seem like he was going to be dying any soon. The Akatsuki was currently back in the shadows once again. Someone was hunting them. However, Itachi already believed. He knew who it is, but he kept his mouth shut. It was his brothers. All evidence pointed towards that. He was the only one that noticed this because none of the others knew his brother like him. None of them. The masked man, Pain, none of them knew his brothers. He was sure that Naruto was a big planner in this. But Sasuke was right by his side. The both of them had believed in a cause. News from Konoha, which he had able to gather. Danzo's Shamir was dead. The leader had a vested interest in this as well. Turns out that it was his brothers that did it. The leader was getting suspicious. It wouldn't be long before he started to link everything to his brothers. Itachi knew that they have grown over the years, but were they ready for someone like Pain? Could they perhaps go up against Pain and win? However, he knew that Naruto was cautious. Naruto would not just walk into anything without precautions and plans to protect himself. However, Itachi was tired. There was only one reason why they would have gone after Danzo. They knew the truth. Pain had told him to remain vigilant because his brothers were coming after him, but Itachi did not see it as such. In fact, they were avoiding him. They've gone out of their way to show that they did not care. And that made him sad. Yes, despite all that he's done, he was sad. He did it to stop Konoha from going up against Uchihas and stopping the outside forces from taking advantage of the coup. But in the end, he was suffering. He killed his own mother and father, majority of his clan. He slaughtered them with his own hands. His hand trembled as certain thoughts rushed into his mind. As he released a breath, taking a gulp of his drink. He was dying soon. However, he had to apologize. By now, Naruto and Sasuke somehow figure out about the massacre and what truly happened. It doesn't matter if they did not forgive him, he had to say his piece, otherwise his soul would never rest. That is when he felt someone approaching him. He thought that it was his partner Kisame who came to find him until the person sat down, without a word. Itachi was taken aback, never expecting this in the slightest, as he simply remained quiet. Itachi stood there as the person took his bottle of sake and poured himself a nice little saucer. Funny, I never took you for much of a drinker. As a person, drink some of the sake. Quite refreshing, he said. I don't really like the stuff that much, but it gets you there. Itachi finally turned face to face with none other than his brother, as Naruto sat there in the booth. Itachi's face remained calm and stoic as ever. His shoulders did not even tense to show that he wanted to fight. If anything, Itachi just seemed tired. How did you find me? He said. I've had someone tracking you for some time now. You finally decided to take a rest away from your partner, so I figure that this would be the best time to speak to you. Is that so? Itachi said. After that, he simply remained quiet as Naruto sipped the sake once again, the moment being a bit tense and a bit awkward. As Naruto opened his mouth. I take it that you heard what happened in Konoha. Yes, I do. So I guess you know that we know everything, correct? How? Itachi said, as he did not bother trying to hide it. There would have been no reason for them to go after Danzo without knowing, and Naruto has made it clear that he knows. 3 years ago when we fought, you did not feel it or see it, but somehow, me and Sasuke enter your mind. We saw everything. We saw that night. We saw everything that you did after that. It was like we were leaving you for a moment and then we were back to our normal self. We saw it, we felt it. We were angry. However, over the 3 years our anger lessened. I'm angry at you. Some point I don't know even if I can ever forgive you for what you did. Yes, you stopped the coup. In doing so, you stopped thousands of lives from being perished. Mother and father knew what they were doing when they agreed to accept the coup by the elders. But the village did not leave them much of a chance. Danzo always wanted the extermination of the people. Our people. And he turned everyone against us. But even the higher-ups of the village, they still did not like us because they fear us. It started from the whole KB incident with the fox. And that man, I presume, is still alive. Itachi narrowed his eyes at him. Yes. I fought the Mizukage recently. And I took him. Itachi narrowed his gaze towards Naruto, not saying anything. This entire time he was being controlled by a man that also possessed a Sharingan. I'm guessing that he was the one that helped you kill the clan. Because you're strong, but not even you can take on the entire police force by yourself and come out uninjured. And that night you were fine. I'm guessing this man was the one that took care of them. He must be really powerful to do something like that. The memories are vague that I saw, but I can tell that he's a Uchiha. A powerful one as well. I'm guessing that you made a deal with him for the extermination for clan as well. I'm not sure what his agenda is, but I will find and kill him as well. As for you, as Naruto turned his gaze towards Itachi and looked him over, you're dying. Itachi said nothing as Naruto continued. I thought that something might be wrong, but I never thought that you would be dying. You don't have that much time left, do you? Itachi leaned back as he took a sip of his sake, as he did not seem to be resisting anything right now. No, I don't, he said. I suppose you're here to end my life. No, not really. Even if I wanted to, I would never do that to Sasuke. I can't just kill you like that without him being here. He's resting at the moment, going through some changes. So you're gonna have to wait. But even after that, I don't want to fight you. Why not? Itachi asks. If you know everything, you know that I deserve what is to come, right? To repent for my actions. To face the final judgment. Punishment. That's what you want. I told you I felt everything. Sasuke might have seen it, but I felt it. It was hard to understand at first, but your emotions. You're suffering. Badly. There's no sense of peace in your life right now. There's no happiness. Every day is a constant reminder that you're upset with yourself, and it's a struggle to even stay alive. But you've done so for our sake, so that we can kill you when the time is right, and get revenge, for us to be seen as the village heroes. But as you can see, we killed Danzo. So right now I believe that you're in more pain. You believe that you fail, because now, you don't know how we're gonna rectify this. After all, Danzo, despite what he's done, he's seen as a elder of the village. You don't have to worry though, I destroyed every evidence about the Uchiha clan and the massacre in his entire base. Itachi was stunned. What? Why would you do that? I did it for you. You love the village. You love the village so much that you're willing to risk everything for it. Because you swore an oath of loyalty to the village. If those evidence were found, it will come out that the higher-ups conspired to get rid of a clan. The other clans in Konoha will not be happy about that. Tension will rise. And after tension, chaos will follow. The villagers themselves will be upset. Konoha will be placed in a state of panic, concern, fear, by the higher-ups. Senju Tsunade is a good woman. She does not deserve this. She's only trying to uplift the village. And besides, there are still people at the village that I care about greatly. And I don't want them to suffer. I see, Itachi said, understanding where Naruto was coming from. But by doing this, you've placed a target on your head. Just like I did, said Itachi. Yes, I know, said Naruto. But it had to be done. My eyes are different from all Uchihas, Itachi. Because they're special. The world is not safe. There are things that are coming to this planet. Things that will be far more dreadful than the Akatsuki and anyone that we face so far. In order to protect the people I care about, I have to become strong. Stronger than possibly imagine. To stop this threat that is coming. Because if I don't, I fear the world would be destroyed. Itachi had no idea what Naruto was talking about. However, he could tell from his tone that he was not joking. I've known what I've done and I know what this means, but in order to keep them safe, I guess I have to play the villain for a while. No, Itachi said. Don't do this. Don't follow my path. You said that you saw what I went through. That means you saw the suffering I went through. I don't want this for you or Sasuke. I never wanted this for any of you. But despite everything, I'm still a monster. Because I took everything away from you guys and put you through so much. Yes, in a way you are, said Naruto. But I'm not here to talk about that. We will see each other again soon. And that will be our final meeting. For what it's worth, I'm not pleased that it had to end this way. But I know what you want. And despite everything, I will give it to you. Itachi's eyes quickly took on the Sharingan before morphing into the Mangekyou. As Naruto paused, feeling the chakra as he turned, as he looked directly into Itachi's eyes. No words were spoken between the two. They just stared at each other. As Naruto could feel the chakra, but he did not say a word or do anything. As Itachi just looked at him, before his eyes returned back normal. As Naruto then walked away, leaving Itachi right there sitting down. Despite that intense moment a moment ago, a small smile came on his face. He trusted his brother. He had faith in them. But it was now his time to play his part. That was his final goodbye to the both of them. And now it was his turn. This was the least that he could do. To try and repay them for what he has done. As Itachi Uchiha got to his feet. As he left the bar. Knowing that soon, he will no longer walk this earth. Time skip. Jiraiya of the Sannin was currently making his way. At the moment he was at the Hidden Rain. Jiraiya had no idea that the tailed beasts were being taken by someone else. Under his belief, the Akatsuki was still the threat that was out there, looming over all of them. That is why he entered the Hidden Rain after gaining some valuable intel, unaware that today might be, no, it definitely will be his final days. Time skip. Mito. Mito was silent. Her whole world seemed to just come to a stop. She could not hear anything else. Her vision was a bit blurry. As she could see the toad, but she could not hear what he was saying. He said that she couldn't. He said Jiraiya was dead. No, that couldn't be true. It was hard for her to lose anyone. She grew up without her parents. However, she met two people that gave her life meaning. She met people bonds she formed. Jiraiya, despite being a pervert, he was like a father to her. He treated her well on the training trip. He watched over her. He guided her. And now he was gone. Killed by the leader of the Akatsuki. Pain. He was dead. He was gone. Her mind was whirling at the moment. Meanwhile, that was going on. At the hideout, as Karen was sitting down beside Sasuke's bed, as she was reading a book. She was reading to herself when she heard something as she turned. To see Sasuke pulling himself up, her eyes widened in surprise as Sasuke's eyes were closed. Sasuke-kun, she said, a big smile on her face. What's going on? Sasuke said, seeming to be confused. Don't you remember? She said. The experiment. The cells. Everything seemed to rush in his mind at once. As Sasuke felt strange. Something was wrong. Something was wrong, yes, greatly so. Sasuke got up. Hold on, she said as she tried to help him. The world felt like it was spinning. Sasuke felt like his body was being pulled. From the ground straight up to the heaven, it felt like there was some strange magnetic force that was holding on to him that he could not see, but he could feel. All life around him seemed to be moving and glistening with the power. He felt the world around him. He felt the gravitational force of everything. He felt life. He felt chakra. He felt all. Are your eyes okay? What's wrong? Said Karen. She could not understand his chakra at the moment. It seems like it was phasing in and out. It seems like his chakra was spreading through the world. That was odd and made no sense. That is when he paused as he calmed himself. Slowly but surely, Sasuke opened his eyes. Karen's eyes widened to what she saw. Your eyes, she said in surprise. Sasuke turned his head as he looked towards the glass that was near to his bed. The reflection of his eyes shined back at him, as he couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, that was going on. A day later, a battle of epic proportions were happening. A battle that was destroying the surrounding area. As two comrades, they've been comrades for years now, were fighting. As they gave it their all. He expected this. This was the main reason why he was partnered with him. Yes, this was the main reason. Kisame was the most loyal member of the Akatsuki, and everyone knew that. And not to mention, he knew the masked man. Itachi Uchiha was a flight risk of the organization. That is why they placed him with him. On this day though, he attacked him. Kisame knew and felt this coming. He knew that one day something might happen for him to trade blows with Itachi. And he warned him when this happened they would fight. To the death. The place was littered with craters. Nothing but destruction and flames. Black flames all around. Over to the side, Samehata was in a tree. Several kunais had pierced right through Samehata, pinning it there. Ninja wires wrapped around it. Over at the left side, there was a massive amount of water. It seemed to be at epic proportions. On top of the surface of the water was a body. His right hand was gone, incinerated. It seems like something had turned into dust. His right side was also burned badly. The skin being burned. Its flesh was still raw. Its leg was mangled. It was none other than Kisame. The battle between them had destroyed the surrounding area and caused a lot of chaos. Both men had fought. Itachi figured that he can go out by helping his brothers in the long run, to give them a chance to win this, and also give them as much information as possible they will need it for the future. He knew that after that day he would not be seeing them again. Not with his own eyes at least. At least he could say goodbye to Sasuke. walking over Itachi. His shirt was torn badly. His Akatsuki robes exposed in his chest. His right hand was bleeding like it was shredded. From the shoulder going down. Blood was dripping from his mouth. His eyes had deactivated. Itachi was too weak to fight someone like Kisame and not suffer dangerous, life-ending wounds. He was in a bad state. Laughter could be heard though, as it came from none other than Kisame as he coughed up blood. I expected this all along. What took you so long? Kisame asks. You had to wait until you get even more sick, for the fight to be a bit stale. You would call something like that stale? Itachi said, talking to him like they had not just tried to take each other's life. I guess you're right, it was pretty fun, as Kisame grinned. However, it's over now, he said. And as I thought, you bested me. Seems like you were the powerful one in the long run. Or maybe, I just got soft and held back on you, because of our friendship. We will never get to know the answer. Itachi said. Damn right we won't. Itachi looked down towards his friend, who gave him a final grin, as everything seemed to take its toll on him, his eyes rolling back. Itachi dropped down to one knee. Well. I would say that I was surprised, but in actuality I'm not. Slowly turning his gaze, Itachi came face to face with the man that he met so long ago. The man that helped him carry out the massacre. Itachi got back to his feet as he looked at the man. I've been wondering who was hunting us time after time again. And I slowly started to put it together. It wasn't until I found out about the death of Danzo and investigate Konoha myself that I started to see something was wrong. The massacre, Danzo being put to death. After all, you and I are the only ones that know exactly what happened. A part of the organization, so our leader, so-called leader, would not know of this. But now that I see what I saw, it was easy. I was just waiting to see how long you would take. Although, I must say, I never expect you to do something today so out in the public. But given who you were facing, I doubt that you could have taken him down by yourself. You just ruined a big part of my plan. He was still needed for the organization. Well, I suppose after this there will be no organization, Itachi said. Confident and cocky words. But, even on your best day, do you think you could defeat me? You have no idea what I can truly do. You might have your little mind games and your genjutsu, but those won't work on me. And today, I will put you to rest once and for all. For your betrayal of the organization, you will die. Itachi actually smiled at those words. A fun-loving smile. His mind was not here at the moment, as he dropped into a stance, preparing himself. The masked man laughed at that. Commendable, but foolish. As he rushed forward, time skip with the boys. Sasuke was panting. There were several distorted crystals over the area, and water puddles. Both Guren and Utsukata were over to the side. The both of them were exhausted. Sasuke was exhausted as well. He hadn't gotten the full swing of these eyes yet, because in both of his eyes now had the majestic, all-powerful Rinnegan. Eyes that were said to belong to a god himself, and now they belong to Sasuke Uchiha. It was taking a longer time than he thought to get full control of them. As Naruto walked out on the scene, "You're holding out longer than before," said Naruto. The more I use them, the better control I gain. Sasuke said, I will have them down in no time, for us to continue our plans. As Karen made her way over to the other two, to help them with their injuries. But this was also practice for them as well. To fight a Rinnegan user, they were getting stronger. That is when both Naruto and Sasuke glanced up to the heavens, feeling something strange. As they looked at one another. Meanwhile, Itachi lay on his back. As he glanced to the heavens, he saw his mother and father, the people of his clan looking down at him. It was time. There was a massive shuriken embedded in his chest. It had pierced right through the ground. Itachi was done for. Over to the left side, the masked man stood there. He seemed somewhat fine except for the cracked mask. The top half of his mask was cracked. The battle was not in Itachi's favor one bit. However, this man has proven to be rather deadly, so even at full strength, the outcome was unknown. This man's ability made him seem like a ghost. However, Itachi already knew that he would die. But this was good. He didn't want his brothers to kill him anymore. He didn't want to have to put that on their conscience as well. And he also gathered intel as well. He's been gathering a lot of that. Since that day when him and Naruto spoke, Itachi made up his mind. Now he could tell them his final goodbyes. His left eye morphed for the last time into the Mangekyou, before it seemed to fade away. As Itachi took his final breath, with a smile on his face, a peaceful one. As he died, the masked man walked over as he looked down. Wasteful, he said. He was angry. Very, very angry. However, knowing that Itachi was dead, their plan could get back to schedule, because they know who was hunting them now. And he will find and kill those two boys. They have no idea what they got themselves involved in. And he would crush them in his palm. With that, he placed his hand down on Itachi's chest as he sucked him away, right into his eye socket. He made his way over and sucked Samihata up as well. He took Kisame's body as well, which he then proceeded to vanish. Meanwhile, with Naruto and Sasuke, the both of them were just glancing up. Karen glanced over. Are they alright? That is when a bird, a crow to be exact, came flocking down. Naruto held his hand up as the crow landed on his hand and glanced towards him and Sasuke. Sharingan eyes looking at both of them before it morphed into the Mangekyou. Both Naruto and Sasuke found themselves in a different location. Slowly but surely, Itachi materialized in front of them. Naruto had told Sasuke everything about him finding Itachi and talking to him. He looked towards him with a warm smile. On the outside world, the members just stood there watching them. What's that? Gorin said. I'm not sure, said Utsukata. That bird is no ordinary bird. It seems like someone sent it to them. Is it a trap? No. They're allowing this to happen. I doubt that anyone could put Naruto-sama under a genjutsu without him instantly destroying it. I guess you're right. And look at their faces, they seem so calm. This must be something that they wanted. Yeah, must be. Meanwhile that was going on, Ma and Pa glanced up towards the tallest pike. There was a board, a small one. Sitting on said board was none other than Mito herself. Her eyes closed, as energy was revolving all around her. As she was calm, the board was not wobbling in the slightest. She's done it, Ma said, amazed and surprised in her eyes. To believe that the girl has come this far in this short amount of time. This leaves them time to teach her more things about the Toad style, especially Toad Kata, which would help her in the long run. how to harness the nature engine in fighting style. They had more time. This was good. She would definitely get revenge for Jiraiya boy. There was no doubt about that. Time skip. Both zombie brothers were making their way, as they had been gathering bounties for some time now. The Akatsuki putting them on break for some time. The leader has not spoken to them for some time now. They were not sure what he was up to. They were near the mountain regions of Kumo. After just gathering another bounty, they were making their way back. This is getting really boring. Hidan said in anger as they had to be stealthy because of the era that they were in. He could not just go willy-nilly killing people all over the place. Would you just be quiet? We'll be down in any time. It's still boring. It doesn't matter if we're gonna be down very soon. Kakuzu chose just to ignore him as he continued to walk. That is when Kakuzu looked down towards his palm. He then turned his hand as he continued to walk, when a vortex opened up in front of them. What's this? Hidan said, as someone stepped out. It was none other than Naruto. Who the hell are you? Hidan asked. Hey Kakuzu, do you know who? Hidan was cut off as threads burst through his throat, through his stomach, and one through his skull. They wrapped him up and slammed him down into the ground. As Kakuzu held him there, Naruto walked over. Despite being near the Eastern criminal, he did not move. All this time Naruto had a spy in the organization, and here he was, Kakuzu himself. There was a few things in this world that Kakuzu cared about. One was power, of course, but the main one was money. However, he knew that he had to have power to gain money. Some time ago, Kakuzu had came across pain. Pain had put the fear of coming into him. Kakuzu had no choice but to join the Akatsuki. But it was never something that he actually liked. He wanted to continue his bounty hunting. Kakuzu was a very old man. Throughout his life, he's been betrayed more than once. The last time was when he snapped. And he ended up killing his village elders and stealing the ability that he now possesses. Throughout those times, immortality might get boring. Kakuzu had money stored away. Money that he can use to do whatever he wants. However, the Akatsuki, he had no choice. After all, the man was able to crush him with just a flex of his hand. Some time ago though, Kakuzu was on a hunt, by himself without the loudmouth Hidan, when he came across this boy. They fought, and Kakuzu saw something that he never thought he would ever experience. Someone stronger than the Rinnegan user. It was that day that Kakuzu realized that this man had the potential. He had it inside of him to surpass Hoshirama Senju by 1,000 miles, reaching the likes that most others could never reach. Kakuzu saw it there and then, the truth, the reality of the future. A future where he would die, gaining nothing, despite how hard he has worked for his entire life. So, then and there Kakuzu made a choice to sell out the Akatsuki and work for Naruto as an informant. Passing on information that is why Naruto knew everything. 2 days ago, a bubble arrived towards him. A bubble that popped and delivered a message to him, saying that it was time. As Kakuzu was still holding on to Hidan, a vortex appeared as it sucked Hidan in. Yes, it was done by Naruto. Don't worry, where he's going he will not come back from. It doesn't matter how this play out. No one will ever know about you anymore, said Naruto as he reached behind him and pulled out a scroll. As he handed it to Kakuzu. There is everything I promise. Kakuzu took the scroll, a smirk on his face. It was nice doing business with you, Kakuzu said. Yes, it was. Thank you for being so compliant. Well, if I did not, I would not be alive now, would I? Well, you're always looking out for number one. That's the way you stay alive. Now, I'm gonna get lost. Kakuzu pulled off his ring as he tossed it, as Naruto caught it. You do you, he said. With that, Kakuzu proceeded to flee. Naruto held onto the ring in his hand. As he held onto it, his eyes glowing under his glasses, it brought a smile to his face. He finally had closure with Itachi. Itachi had came to them and gave them some good information on the threat that they now face. However, he was not the bigger one. There was something out there worse than this masked man. But he will be killed just like the others that stand in their way. While Naruto was making his way off said cliff, Konoha was being attacked. Pain had finally decided to launch the assault. He would not let the Uchihas get their hands on the Nine Tails. So he went straight for the village. Itachi was now dead. The masked man gave him the okay to go and take the Nine Tails. Chaos ensued within the Hidden Leaf very soon. While that was going on, Mito was training and learning the fox katas when the toad that was left behind, just in case, came back. The toad came rushing back as it hopped in the area. We got a problem, it said. Mito turned towards it. What's going on? What? She said after the toad spoke. We have to get back. Now! Meanwhile, the village. Chaos was everywhere. A strange creature, orange and black, many legs crawled through the village, seeming to be a normal insect, but yet it was a summon of the Rinnegan. A child was crying after falling as the creature was rushing towards it. That was until someone leaped forward and buried her fist in the monster. It was none other than Sakura. She blew the thing to smithereens, completely destroying it as it was sent sailing, smashing into a building before poofing away. She scooped the child up. It's gonna be alright, she said. The pains wreaked havoc throughout the village, searching for Mito. At the far corner of the village, near the waterfall, Paul came out. As he came rushing, seeing the destruction, he flashed to hand sign. Summoning. Poof! Smoke filled the entire area. As Mito arrived, Ma on her shoulder, an angry look on her face. She was wearing a new coat, black with red flames. There was a scroll on her back. She was also wearing gloves in her hand. Her hair was tied up into a ponytail. A pissed off look on her face as she saw the smoke from her village. She moved off. The moment Mito arrived, as her chakra illuminate spread through the area, making the enemy know exactly where she was. Pain stopped his assault as he stood on the tower with Snetty. He was about to use the almighty push, however. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki was now here. Mito leaped from rooftop to rooftop at blinding speed. She was currently in Sage mode. Her speed was ridiculous. In an instant she arrived, landing in front of Snetty to face. Pain as his spiky hair, piercing on his face, stood there, like he was some kind of benevolent god. You, she said. Mito, said Snetty. However, the moment Mito turned towards her, something strange happened. Snetty's eyes switched. They turned blue, with 5 totem in each. Mito blinked in shock. Those eyes, those were Naruto? But guys, to be in subs right here. If you want the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.